Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today, we'll be diving into a comprehensive overview of assessment instruments. We'll explore their purpose, the different types available, how to administer them properly, interpret the results, and the ethical considerations to keep in mind. Our goal is to equip you with the knowledge needed for effective evaluation in your work. I'm excited to get started. Assessment instruments are structured tools specifically designed to gather data about a person's abilities, behaviors, or characteristics. They play a crucial role across various settings, such as education, clinical environments, and organizational contexts, because they offer objective and standardized ways to collect meaningful information. In professional practice, these tools are invaluable for helping experts understand how individuals or groups perform, identify specific needs, and evaluate the effectiveness of interventions. By providing consistent and reliable data, assessment instruments support evidence-based decision-making, ensuring that choices are informed by solid information. Additionally, these instruments help facilitate clear communication among all stakeholders involved, making the sharing and interpretation of data much smoother. Assessment serves several critical purposes that are essential for effective learning and development. First, it measures skills and knowledge, giving us a clear understanding of current levels. This baseline is crucial because it helps us know where individuals stand at any given point. Next, assessment allows us to track progress over time, so we can monitor growth, development, or any areas that might need more attention. Another key function is informing decisions, whether those decisions relate to instruction methods, treatment plans, or policy changes. Assessment provides the evidence needed to make informed choices. Additionally, it helps identify both strengths and areas where support or intervention may be necessary, ensuring that resources are directed where they're most needed. Ultimately, assessment plays a vital role in enhancing outcomes by guiding targeted actions based on solid evidence. And it's important to remember that effective assessment relies on producing reliable and valid data, which form the foundation for meaningful evaluation and strategic planning. This way, we ensure that our efforts are focused, efficient, and impactful. There are several types of assessment instruments we can use, each serving different purposes. First, we have standardized tests, which are structured evaluations with established norms and scoring procedures. These allow us to compare results across different groups fairly. Then, we have surveys and questionnaires, which are great for gathering self-reported data directly from participants. Observation checklists come next. They involve systematically recording behaviors or events as they occur, either in natural settings or more controlled environments. Interviews provide a more direct approach, often semi-structured, allowing for in-depth qualitative insights through conversation. Finally, informal tools are custom-designed assessments tailored to specific contexts or populations, offering flexibility to meet unique needs. Understanding these various instruments helps us choose the best approach for collecting meaningful data. When selecting assessment instruments, there are several crucial criteria to keep in mind. First, validity is key. It means the tool truly measures what it's supposed to measure, ensuring the results are meaningful. Next is reliability, which refers to the consistency of the outcomes when the instrument is used multiple times or by different evaluators. Without reliability, results could vary widely and lose their trustworthiness. Cultural relevance is another important consideration. The content and language must be suitable and respectful for the specific population being assessed, so the data accurately reflects their experience. Practicality also matters. A good instrument should be feasible to use in terms of time, available resources, and ease of administration. Finally, the instrument must align with the specific goals of your assessment, making sure it serves the purpose for which it's intended. Together, these criteria help ensure that the assessment is both effective and appropriate. When administering assessment instruments, there are a few critical factors to keep in mind. First, adequate preparation is essential. This means thoroughly understanding the guidelines of the instrument and ensuring that all assessors are properly trained. Without this foundation, the results might not be reliable. Next, maintaining standardized conditions is key. Conducting the assessment in a consistent environment and following uniform procedures helps ensure fairness for all participants. Another important point is providing clear instructions. Participants should receive directions that are explicit and easy to understand, so they know exactly what is expected of them. Finally, it's important to monitor the administration closely. This involves observing the process carefully and addressing any issues that arise immediately, which helps maintain the integrity of the assessment. When interpreting assessment results, it's crucial to start by analyzing the data within the specific context of the assessment goals and the population involved. This ensures that the findings are relevant and meaningful. Next, we need to be mindful of any limitations or potential sources of error, whether they come from the instrument used or how the assessment was administered. Recognizing these helps us avoid drawing inaccurate conclusions. It's also important to use the right methods, whether statistical techniques or qualitative approaches, to interpret the data correctly and support reliable conclusions. Finally, we must communicate the findings clearly to all stakeholders, providing explanations that make the results understandable and actionable. This clarity helps ensure that the data can effectively inform decisions moving forward. One common challenge we encounter is bias, where cultural or linguistic differences can impact the fairness of our assessments. It's crucial to recognize how these differences might skew results and affect interpretations. Another issue is the misapplication challenge, which happens when instruments are used for purposes they weren't designed for, leading to unreliable outcomes. Technical issues also pose a risk, such as errors in scoring or mishandling data, which can compromise the integrity of the results. Additionally, resistance from participants or staff can hinder the assessment process, especially when there's hesitance or distrust toward the evaluation. To address these challenges, selecting tools that are culturally sensitive is essential to ensure fairness and relevance. Equally important is adhering strictly to established protocols, providing thorough training, and fostering an environment of transparency and trust among everyone involved. These solutions help us maintain accuracy and build confidence throughout the assessment process. When we talk about ethical considerations in assessment, there are 4 key points to keep in mind. First, confidentiality is essential. We must protect personal data and ensure everyone's privacy is maintained throughout the process. Next is informed consent. Participants need to fully understand what the assessment involves and agree to it willingly, without any pressure. Fairness is also crucial. We must avoid any form of discrimination or bias in both selecting participants and interpreting the results. Lastly, appropriate use means using the assessment outcomes solely for their intended and beneficial purposes, so the information serves a positive role and doesn't cause harm. These ethical principles help maintain trust and integrity in our assessments. To wrap up, let's focus on some key takeaways and best practices. First, it's essential to really understand the purpose of the assessment instruments you're using and the different types that are available. Knowing this helps you choose the right tool for your specific needs. Next, we need to apply strict criteria to ensure those tools are both valid and reliable. That way, the results you get are trustworthy. Administering assessments in a standardized way is also critical. This means giving everyone a fair and consistent experience, which supports the integrity of the data. When it comes to interpreting the results, it's important to do so responsibly, always considering the context to avoid misinterpretation. Finally, stay proactive about any challenges that arise and uphold strong ethical standards throughout the process. By following these best practices, we can generate meaningful and dependable outcomes that truly support effective decision-making and positive impacts.